Hello and welcome to Bearded Driver Reviews on Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. Ask any child from the mid-2000s what a Rover is, and the most likely answer you will get is the Mars Rover, a Range Rover, or the Rover's return on Coronation Street. It's a car brand that was once held in high regard. It's now simply vanished from the car showrooms since 2005. Ask the bearded driver what a Rover is, and he will tell you. A R8, 200 or 400, a 600 or an 800, maybe a Metro, a Tomcat, the lovely P6, and finally the 75, the last proper Rover. Today we are looking at the stunning 75 Connoisseur SE in British Racing Green. But let's delve into the history of the 75. From late 1993, Richard Woolley had been working on 3 models to replace 800 and 600. The first was called Flagship or Flagpig, which would replace the 800. The second, called Eric, would replace the 800 Coupe. And lastly, Core would replace the still fresh looking 600, which was based on the Honda Accord. But the cost to develop 2 cars were dropped and Core became, get this, Isis. And this would replace 2 models. Isis was shown to BMW top brass, and BMW gave the nod and became Project RD1. The early clay model of RD1 was presented to top brass at Rover and BMW. It made such an impression that there was no need to tinker with the styling. Inside the RD1, the interior and dashboard were radical and retro. For example, the dials, the seats and the real wood would provide dashboard structure rather than decoration, though later 75s had wood effect plastic decoration. Suspension wise up front was McPherson struts, and at the rear a Z-axle, first seen in the BMW Z1 but then became popular in the 3 Series. The R40 or RD1 was planned to be unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show in spring 1999, but meddling BMW forced Rover to unveil the car at the British Motor Show in 1998, and the car was met with praise. But then BMW's CEO dive-bombed the party by telling the motoring press that the Rover was in crisis and action from the UK government was required for the future of the Rover Group. Fast forwarding to May 2000, and BMW sold out to the Phoenix Group, who gave the go-ahead for the 75 Tourer and the MG ZT. But by 2004, the revised 75 and ZT were launched, like this model here, and the classic Rover look was replaced by a bland Euro look, and Project Drive, a cost-cutting exercise, took hold, things like wood being replaced with plastic imitation, door mirrors from a 25 and 45, and in April the 75 production line fell silent. So without much further ado, let's have a walk around of this gorgeous 75, and what a beauty she is. The side profile chrome detailing on the mirrors, side stripes, chrome on the bottom of the door, chrome boot handle spelling out Rover, The 75 badge on the bottom. These gorgeous 16-inch forked alloy wheels. Only slightly let down by this front end and this rather cheap and nasty Rover badge, which is actually a £20 vinyl sticker. Opening up the bonnet, you're revealed to a mass of black plastic, but this is the M47R, or BMW M47. R for Rover, or apparently rail. It's a 2 litre turbo diesel intercooler common rail, producing a 131 PS. So we'll just go over some of the features here. Just sort of observations for topping up your screen wash here. Oil there. Dipstick. Coolant reservoir. Battery here. And fuse box here. But not a great deal to look at under this engine bay, but I have to say it's very, very clean. So let's jump inside the 75. Now these handles are absolutely gorgeous here. These are like a work of art. So the first thing to greet you is the Rover kick plate, again spelling out Rover. And then we've got this gorgeous beige cream leather interior. I'm moving on to the door. We'll start off with the door first. You've got this sort of beige leather plasticky effect. A wee bit, it's nice soft, which is a bit saggy as well. Door card. Big oval shape with a handle on side. And again, I think it's a bit, it does feel pretty cheap. But the electric windows, 4 electric windows, and your mirror switch here. Got this gorgeous 3-spoke steering wheel, again slightly ruined by the cheap and nasty Viking ship. It does grow on you eventually, but it's not Rover. So down here we've got our light switches here for a side lights, headlights, your fog lights, your instrument dimmer, and your headlight adjustment there. We've got our bonnet adjustment here, bonnet adjustment, bonnet opener, and remote boot release. The seats here are memory seats, so it's handy if, like myself, if your wife takes the car out, she can adjust her seat and then you can push it back to where you want it. So we've got this gorgeous 3-spoke steering wheel as I mentioned, and we've got our instruments. So from left to right you've got your temperature gauge, rev counter, speedometer and fuel gauge. You've got the stereo controls and cruise control on the steering wheel, and a horn. Let's test the horn. Nice horn, nice sounding horn. You've got your wipers here with 1, 2, 3-speed wipers, but also automatic wipers as well. I'm going to climb into the car now. Got a few more details here. In top here you've got your information screen. It's got Traffic Master, which I believe was a traffic announcement system. I think it was like a subscription service, but don't quote me on that. You've got your door opening warning light, and this light here is that my pads are getting a bit low. You've got like your little warning lights in here, trip, gear lever position, temperature and total mileage. Moving over, your dashboard is covered in this imitation plastic wood. Earlier 75s would have had real wood effect. Your passenger airbag here, a nice analog clock, vents, a little storage area, and again what I like is I like how Rover always provide mats. And viewers, we've got a stereo, but will it play my Beard CD? There's no CD slot. Oh, viewers, oh hold on, what's this? It's got a CD player. I could play my CD. Underneath the stereo you have your dual zone climate control, chunky buttons, easy enough to use. So auto recirculation, windscreen and heated rear window. Down below that you've got your heated seats, cruise control, more heated seats, and if I push this button, as I said, if I push the button at the back, we have a rear blind for the back windscreen. That's impressive. So moving on from the buttons, underneath the buttons here, this has been an add-on by the previous owner. This originally would have been a cup holder for a pop-out cup holder. So if you'd have pushed this wooden, like on this side, you'd have pushed this wooden panel and it would have popped out. Behind there you've got your 12-volt socket. Now I'll take that out. You see the action here. Other side's just a blank panel. Underneath here you've got a nice wee cubby area. Just behind here there's an ashtray, lock and wheel nut key. So then we move on to the, I think it's called the Jacktron 5-speed automatic gearbox. So just over here you've got your modes, so you've got sport mode, economy mode, or winter mode. It's quite a simple gearbox. So you've got park, reverse, neutral, drive, 4, 3 and 2. Now for Edinburgh roads, 3 and 2 would be perfect to use. You can just basically lock these gears and they won't go above say 3rd gear or 2nd gear if you locked it into either 3 or 2. For Edinburgh that's quite perfect because we're all 20-mile-an-hour limits here in Edinburgh, so you're barely going to get out of 3rd gear. It's quite handy if you're using this car for maybe like the school run, and you can just lock it into that gear. It's also nice wood, imitation wood panel. Moving along we have the hazard warning light switch. And the door lock button. Got a nice leather handbrake with a chrome button. Moving over we then have an armrest. Just fill my rubbish in out. Then moving over to the passenger side, you have under the airbag you have another rubber matted area. Maybe you could maybe put a CD in here. Then you have the glove box, and again it's full of my stuff. But let's just check if we can see if we were to go on a bearded gentleman's weekend, if we can put my overnight bag in. No, we can't, because the owner's handbook and my other CDs take precedence of that. Moving over to the passenger door, again you've got that chrome door handle, again sort of cheap plastic electric window switch, again that nice carpet thing. It's gone a wee bit saggy, it's a nice feel to it. So there we go, that's it. Another feature you have on this car, which you don't get because this car's got aircon, is you've got a sunroof. Right, let's head into the back. Heading into the back, again in the back door you've got the chrome door handle, your electric window switch, an nice leather armrest, handle, speaker and that carpet effect. And we've also got, as we move one of the poo out, it's quite a nice place to be in the back. So you've got heated vents in there, you've got your vents in there, a little cubby. You can lower the newspaper under the mat there. I'm currently fixing a water leak on this car. But when we said we don't have cup holders in the front for the driver and passenger, you could use this pop out cup holder here. If you had passengers as well, you can put down this armrest and open up this compartment, and you got two cup holders there, a pen holder, and maybe like a wee notebook holder as well. You've also got a ski hatch which you can gain access from the rear. And also that armrest doubles as a wee booster chair for poo here. So without much further ado, let's go for a drive in this Rover 75.